Hey guys, welcome back to another ranking video. This evening I'm ranking all the directed movies that I have seen of Joe Schumacher's filmography so far. Yesterday he passed away, and so I decided to go ahead and rank his movies from my least favorite to my favorite of the ones that I've seen that he's directed so far. He's got a huge filmography. I would love to get to watch all of them, but for right now, I have 9 movies that I'm going to be ranking. So, and don't forget in the comment section below, I would love for you guys to participate as well. Give me your ranking of all the directed movies that you've seen of his, from your least favorite to your favorite. I would love to hear some feedback from you guys. And don't forget, if you're new to the channel, subscribe today for more content as I do movie reviews, TV show reviews, top 10s, rankings, and other film content. So sit back and relax and let's get into this ranking. Coming in at number 9 is Batman and Robin. For obvious reasons, I wasn't a big fan of the two later Batman movies. They couldn't secure Michael Keaton or Tim Burton for the next movies, and so it really hurt the franchise as far as these early movies go, in my opinion. Now, Val Kilmer, which you'll see on this list, isn't that bad, but George Clooney is just too nice of a person to be a dark Batman. Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze, it just didn't work. It's a bad movie, and it comes in at number 9. Number 8 is DC Cab. This is a cheesy movie in the early 80s, which it's become a cult film and has developed a huge fan base, but for me, it was just okay. I wasn't a big fan of this movie, but for my childhood, it was fine. But today, it's a miss. It's a miss for me. Number 7 is Batman Forever. Like I said, Val Kilmer wasn't bad, but he's no Michael Keaton, and yeah, it was just an okay Batman movie. The first two are awesome. It's too bad that, like I said, we couldn't secure Michael Keaton and Tim Burton, because just imagine how good these movies would have been had Michael stayed on. Number 6 is Flatliners. Great cast, great movie. Number 5 is The Number 23. This is a movie that I think is very underrated and underappreciated. I love Jim Carrey's performance in this movie, and it's a creepy film about how everything evolves around the number 23. But I loved it. I loved the pacing. I loved Jim Carrey's character, and it was just a blast to watch. So it comes in at number 5. Number 4 is St. Elmo's Fire. Again, a great cast, a great movie. You got Demi Moore, Rob Lowe. You have Ali Sheedy. Who else? Judd Nelson. Just a huge. Emilio Estevez. Just a great cast. A lot of the Brat Pack, I believe it is, in this movie. I believe that's what they're called. Anyway, great cast. I love the story about all these college friends, sticking by one another and being there for each other, even after graduation. A lot of their situations go south, or their relationship issues. There's cheating and all different kinds of things that go on within this group. It's just a lot of fun, and it's one of the better 80s movies that probably not a lot of people have seen, but it's just an excellent movie in my opinion. Now, I didn't see it I saw this movie for the first time, a few years ago, and I've been hooked ever since. Now it's one of my favorites. of the 1980s. But yeah, it comes in at number 4. Number 3 is Phone Booth. What an exciting thriller film we have here that centers around a phone booth. And you have Kiefer Sutherland as the bad guy who is keeping this guy hostage in this phone booth throughout the whole movie. And it's a blast. It is a very underrated movie, in my opinion. Not a lot of people talk about it, but it is an excellent movie. One I highly recommend you check out. Number 2 and number 1 were pretty damn close, but in the end, my number 1 is number 1 for a reason. But my number 2 film is A Time to Kill. This movie is fantastic. You have a black father played by Samuel L. Jackson, whose younger daughter is beaten and raped by 2 white hillbillies and left for dead. And so he takes it upon himself, and he ends up killing these 2 boys, and is facing 2 counts of murder. And so he hires a lawyer played by Matthew McConaughey, who is assisted throughout the movie by various other people, including Donald Sutherland, Sandra Bullock, and what is his name? I'm drawing a blank on his name right now, but if I think of it, I'll let you know. But it's got a great cast in this movie. Kevin Spacey is the prosecutor in this case, going up against Matthew McConaughey, and you have a lot of key witnesses for both parties. You have a jury that's predominant. I mean, mostly, I believe, it's all white jury. But the way that Matthew McConaughey's character presents the case and the speech he gives as his closing remarks really hits home, and I cry every time I hear it. And as a matter of fact, no, it's not an all-white jury. It is a mixture. As I'm thinking and just thinking of the movie right now, and you have just a heartwarming story about what would you do if it was your daughter that was beaten and raped. She was even urinated on, and all these other things. And yeah, it's a real powerful movie. And of course, the Ku Klux Klan gets involved. Kiefer Sutherland is in this movie as well. Oliver Platt is the other guy that is helping out McConaughey's team. And I first time I watched this movie, I was hooked, and it's now one of my favorite ones to watch. Anytime it's on TV, I always check this movie out. But it is a damn close to be number 1. If it wasn't for this blockbuster of a movie with a great cast again, it would be number 1. But my number 1 favorite directed Joel Schumacher movie is The Lost Boys. The Lost Boys is my favorite vampire movie of all time. You have Kiefer Sutherland, who leads this group of vampires, along with Alex Winter in this movie. He's a vampire as well. You have Corey Haim, Corey Feldman, Diana Weiss in this movie, and it is just a fantastic vampire film. Little quick synopsis about this is you have a mother and her 2 boys who move in with their father, their grandfather, and Santa Barbara is the murder capital of the world, and there's a reason why. There is a vampire problem. And you have the 2 characters, the 2 brothers, one of which, the older brother, ends up getting or drinks the blood of the head vampire, or so we think he's the head vampire. And he becomes a half bloodsucker, half human, because he hasn't made his first kill yet. And those vampires can be returned to normal if the head vampire is killed. Which we don't find out who the head vampire is till the ending of this movie, which I thought was a great twist. And the kills in this movie, the look of the vampires are fantastic. And I have a blast with this movie every time I watch it. Now, they did produce some direct-to-DVD sequels later on. which I wasn't a big fan of because it just didn't. It only included Corey Feldman in it, which normally I love Corey Feldman, but when it comes to these movies, you got to have all the cast you can have back for it to work for me, and it just didn't. There are a couple throwaway movies, and this first movie and only movie is the only one I consider ever watching, and yeah, it's a blast. The Lost Boys comes in at number one, so there you have it. That is my ranking of all 9 movies that I've seen by the great director Joel Schumacher. Uh, so, in the comment section below, like I said at the beginning of this uh, uh, ranking, give me your ranking of all the director movies you've seen of his, from your least favorite to your favorite. If you don't have a ranking and you only have one movie of yours of his that is your favorite, let me know that in the comment section below as well. We'd love to hear some feedback from you guys. Other than that, stay tuned for a couple more top 10s later this evening. I thank you guys for watching and check you later.